So I'm back. I know it's been a little minute. I did the top 10 greatest players of all time, 10 through 5, about a month ago. So I went to take a little break before I had released this video to kind of think about it and stuff like that. I was gonna wait even more time, maybe when I get like more subscribers and stuff, but I ain't gonna keep on waiting that long because the month been long enough. People will just catch up to it when they catch up to it, I guess. And hopefully it give me more subscribers. I don't know. But anyway, the this is 5 through 1. If you didn't see 10 through 5, it'll be at the end of this video. I'll post it. So yeah, 5 through 1. This is pretty easy. It was pretty easy for me, besides a few names. The positioning, I know a lot of people gonna have problems with, but it is what it is. I have my reasonings, and I'm going to explain my reasonings behind everybody and where they rank on my list. So I ain't gonna talk too much. I'm gonna get right into it. So we at the fifth player of all time. Now, just like I did in 10 through 5, I'm gonna give the reasoning why I put this person here, and then a person ahead of them, like whoever fourth, I'm gonna explain why I chose to put them over whoever I got fifth, because everybody is close. When we talk about the top 10 players of all time, it's really splitting hairs. These is all great players, all people with multiple rings and MVPs and all-star games and all of that type of stuff. So it's really like splitting hairs. And then when we get into positions, when we talk about guards versus forwards, that's when stuff really get hard and really get dicey to kind of break down, because it's hard to compare a guard to a forward because the requirements for both of them is different. So it really gonna come down to, I guess, if you which one you need more if you starting a team, or which one you prefer, a guard or forward, or which play style, whichever way you want to go, is really up to you. So the fifth person on this list, right off rip, gonna cause probably the most controversy, but it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. That's all I gotta say. Number 5 on this list, LeBron James. I already know what. Ain't no way LeBron top 2. How's LeBron only number 5? I know the LeBron fans and people coming. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna break it down for you. So I have number 6, I believe, was Magic. And battle between LeBron and Magic, it was really close. But at the end of the day, I do feel like LeBron is like a better version of Magic Johnson. He can really do everything Magic do plus more when you really look at it. He's not as a great a passer as Magic, but he's up there. He's a better defender than Magic and can defend better than Magic, given to due to his athleticism and size. He a better scorer than Magic. Of course, a better shooter than even Magic. And we know LeBron ain't the greatest of shooters, but he can definitely shoot better than Magic could. And of course, longevity. Unfortunately, just like I said about Bird and Magic, is that their careers was cut short. So I do feel like if Magic didn't catch HIV and he played longer, he would be over LeBron and probably top 3 like he was in the early 2000s and the 90s. But I feel like the lack of longevity really kind of hurt Magic, even though what Magic did was spectacular in that short period of time. But it's hard for me to put him over LeBron when I know like LeBron would just, to me, a better version of Magic Johnson. So I got that's why I have LeBron over Magic personally. I know Magic has one more ring, but LeBron has, I believe, more finals MVPs and more MVPs. Of course, he higher up on the all-time scoring list. He might end up passing Magic on the all-time assist list. I should have looked at that before I made this video. But, LeBron climbing that list. And, of course, like I said, LeBron is a better defender than Magic. I don't think Magic made it to any all-first-team defense. And I know LeBron made it to, like, 4. So LeBron could shoot better than Magic. It just is what it is. And then when we compare help, Magic had Kareem for all 5 of his rings. So, and that's, and Kareem is obviously in these top 5 players of all time, even though I hold against LeBron for switching teams personally. So now that we got that Magic versus LeBron out the way. So the reason why LeBron is top 5, I don't think I'm gonna get too much pushback besides, some people just don't like LeBron like that and want to argue it. But, LeBron has to be top 10, basically top 5 of all time based on what he done. 4 rings, I think 4 MVPs, 4 finals MVPs, all-time scoring leader. We know LeBron track record. And, arguably LeBron could have been higher on this list, but just not to me. Like, I don't think LeBron is second all time, and I don't even think he's third, and obviously fourth. And I'm gonna get into them players and why I don't have him above them. Now, when LeBron is not done playing, when LeBron retires, he could move um ahead of the 4th place person. I don't think he's gonna be able to reach my top 3, but it's like I said, it's possible if LeBron somehow wins another championship or MVP or just turns it around and just becomes something unbelievable and do something unbelievable, then yeah. But as of right now, I really can't see it, and I'm just going by, right now. So who I have 4th on this list? So I guess we can get into the debate because it's going to be a lot of debate, and I'm on it between LeBron and these next 4 players. So actually, number 4 and number 3 was the hardest to me. Like, it was really hard and really could go either way. Like 3, 4, and 5 is really interchangeable. But me personally, this is how I ranked them and broke it down. So number 4 on the list, Tim Duncan. Yeah, have to go with Tim Duncan, and you knew he had to be here. Tim Duncan is easily a top 5 player of all time. And also, I should have mentioned in the beginning of this video, but I forgot. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain is not on these top 10 lists because it's a different era. It's too hard to rank them. Like, they played in a different era. Like this, I guess this is, like I said, the top 10 players of the modern era, I guess from the 70s or 80s on to now. So like I said, I'm not putting Bill Russell and Wilt in my top 10 when, people barely seen them play. It was less teams, like wasn't no 3-point line. Like it's too hard to compare them. So leaving Bill Russell and Wilt out, Tim Duncan has to be a top 10 player of all time. And I say top 5. So why is Tim Duncan top 5? I mean, we all know he has 5 rings. Believe he has 2 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, one of the greatest defenders of all time. He has like, what is it, like 9 or 10 first team on defense and like 12 overall. He one of the greatest defensive big men that there are in the game. A double machine, Tim Duncan averaged 20 and 10 easily. I mean, I don't know if the record was broken at the end with Tim Duncan, but I know for the longest, Tim Duncan was one of the only players who never had a losing season. And he had like 12 or 10, like a crazy number of 50-game winning seasons. Like he won like 10 to 15, I can't remember off the top of my head, seasons where he won at least 50 games, which is crazy. He won the finals MVP and won the championship his rookie year, just like Magic did, and really got David Robinson over the hump. He was the only player to stop Kobe and Shaq in '02. That '02 Tim Duncan season was just something ridiculous. And then once I get into LeBron and then Tim Duncan, why I put Tim Duncan slightly over LeBron is because, like I said, some people, depending on how you look at it, but some people give LeBron credit for winning a ring with multiple teams and stuff. I personally hold that against him, and I'm still from the old era where I'm against team hopping, like hopping from team to team to team. I'm against that. And then I do feel like like I said, LeBron had more help than any other superstar in history. Like LeBron, they played with more all-stars and superstars than anybody. And then we look at Tim Duncan, because yes, Tim Duncan has had help, but Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker was late round, second round picks. They really overachieved for real, and they fit the Spurs system perfectly. And also, like Tony Parker and Manu, they not top 50 players of all time, top 75 players of all time. Kawhi probably is and might end up making it, but Kawhi came at the end, and Kawhi wasn't really Kawhi like that until Tim Duncan was basically retired and gone. What else? Tim Duncan, also like I said, was the Spurs franchise, and we see how the Spurs been since he left. He really is kind of like the Tom Brady of the NFL. I mean, of the NBA. That's how I always looked at it. Even though, of course, Tom Brady ranked better because Tom Brady went to a different team and won something that Tim Duncan didn't do. Um, Even though, like I said, I don't like the basically like team hopping from team to team to team, but like in Tom Brady case, it was like at the end of his career and his coach didn't want him. He didn't want to leave. So it was kind of different than LeBron. And if LeBron just switched teams and went to the Heat and stayed with the Heat, I wouldn't really held that against him. But it's the fact he went to the Heat, went to the Cavs again, then went to the Lakers. And then even now it's rumors about him going to the Knicks and other teams, even though I don't think that is true. It's just like, LeBron just LeBron got to the point to where it was basically team hopping. Whenever the team was bad, he just went to a different team. It just is what it is. But I feel like, like staying on one team that whole time, changing the Spurs franchise, history like the Spurs, didn't win a championship before Tim Duncan. He really was the backbone and the centerpiece of the Spurs and carrying the franchise, like kind of like what Tom Brady did to the Patriots, to where he made them basically a dynasty for real. And then, like I said, Tim Duncan, Manu and Tony was great players. David Robinson was a good player, but remember, David Robinson was at the end of his career when Tim Duncan came. He only played for a couple more years. And Tim Duncan as a rookie took over that team and led them over David Robinson. So, Tim Duncan is that dude, and that's why I have him fourth, and I put him slightly over LeBron. Then we can get into the things of him being 2-1 against LeBron in the finals. Really, a lot of people feel like 3-0 because of the Ray Allen shot, but it is what it is. So he 2-1, including sweeping LeBron and gentlemen sweeping them the second time at a record. They was getting blew out basically every game, the next season after the Heat won. And then I look at it like that. Then I look at it and Tim Duncan played in the Western Conference, the harder conference than LeBron did for majority of his career. Tim Duncan, a better defender than LeBron was. The all NBA defenses and everything speaks for themselves. And then, of course, LeBron more so of a guard than a forward, even though LeBron is kind of like a forward too, versus like a Kobe or somebody. Like I made the Kobe versus Tim Duncan video to where it's really like comparing a big man to a little man. But even though LeBron played more so on the perimeter, LeBron gets rebounds and LeBron got the size to really be, like a forward also. So, and Tim Duncan was also an underrated passer. So to me, watching him, like Tim Duncan is just, he had a better career and just better than LeBron. Now, LeBron could pass him, and then there's certain instances where I could see people choosing LeBron over Tim Duncan, and most people would just because, like I said, people don't like to watch Tim Duncan play and didn't like Tim Duncan. But this list is not for casuals. Like this list is for people who actually know basketball. And if you know basketball, like Tim Duncan, well, I don't care how it look, his resume and everything speaks for itself. Flat out. So I got number 4, Tim Duncan. Now, when I get into number 3, which was really hard, really neck and neck, I kind of already broke it down already, but I'm gonna get more into it. So this might cause a little bit of controversy also, but it is what it is. I'll break it down. So number 3 on my list, and we should know these last 3 players. So it was hard. But like I said, I'm non-biased and I just go by, knowing basketball, the resume, what I've seen, watching them and everything like that. So number 3 on my list, Kobe Bean Bryant. Yep, Kobe number 3. So why is Kobe in the top 10 or top, even I consider top 3? Because I think a lot of people, some people say Kobe not top 10. To me, that's crazy. Just like with LeBron, like it's one thing if you don't like him, but like you going to the extreme when you talking about Kobe not a top 10 player. The same with LeBron, especially like I said on this list when I'm not including Bill and Wilt, even though I don't feel like Bill and Wilt should be over LeBron and Kobe. Like that's ridiculous. But anyway, so reason why I got Kobe high, we already know he got the 5 rings, the all NBA defense, the all stars, the points. We know Kobe resume. The only stain on Kobe resume is the MVPs, which he should have more of, which most people feel like he should. Some people feel like he shouldn't. The haters feel like he shouldn't have won it over Chris Paul. That's another video for another day. But I was watching the NBA every game that season, and I remember that season 08 when Kobe won MVP, is that the Lakers had a better record, which was a bigger part of it because they like to give the MVP. Like you look at Dirk and a lot of people, the MVP usually goes to who has the best record. Not always, because we know Russell Westbrook won it, but majority of the time it goes to the player who had like the best record in the conference. Then 2, it was late in the season and the Hornets and the Lakers played, and they basically, I remember people saying like whoever win this game gonna kind of decide who the MVP is. And then the Lakers and Kobe won that game. But that's another subject for a different day. So Kobe got the deserved the MVP, and I felt like he might have deserved more, but it was just due to the circumstances of his team not being good, or maybe it was the Colorado thing to where the NBA, was blackballing and really didn't like Kobe like that. Then the stuff with Shaq, like for a nice period of time, Kobe was like the black sheep, the hated guy, and he kind of had to redeem himself. So, and Kobe, like I said, one of the best offensive and defensive players of all time. He up there top 5 with all NBAs, and I think he has the most all NBA for guard. Maybe Gary Payton. I don't even think Gary Payton is ahead of him, but like Kobe is one of the best offensive and defensive players of all time. One of the most skilled players of all time. One of the biggest players of all time, one of the most hardworking, Kobe resume speaks for itself. So getting into why I chose Kobe over Tim Duncan and LeBron, and it's funny, I already did a video about this. So if you want more breakdown, you can look at my LeBron versus Kobe video. Is I guess, which my biggest video as of right now that most people seen. I put that at the end also, and I kind of broke down why I have Kobe over LeBron. Then I also made a video, Kobe versus Tim Duncan, and I broke down why I have Kobe slightly ahead of Tim Duncan. Now, like I said, with Tim Duncan, is that it really depends on if you want a guard or a forward. If you put Tim Duncan over Kobe, I can't be mad at you. If you put a forward over a guard and you say, I want, a forward, and you put Tim Duncan over Kobe, I can't get mad at you. And vice versa. It depends on which position that you want. So this is just me personally. Like I said, we could have did a 3A and a 3B or whatever, but I gave Kobe the slight edge because of a couple of things I forgot to mention in the Kobe versus Tim Duncan video is that I remember Kobe used to own the Spurs. Like in 02, Tim Duncan gave Shaq and Kobe that work, but for the most part throughout the years and in the playoffs, like Kobe always outplayed Tim Duncan for the most part in the head-to-head. Then when I look at it too, is that Tim Duncan, like I was just saying with LeBron, is that he didn't have some superstars, and he didn't have no superstar, but he always had a good nucleus. Like he always had Greg Popovich, he always had solid players, David Robinson, then Kawhi and Manu, and like he never had a bad team like Kobe did. Like the years where Kobe had to really carry a team, like when he had Kwame Brown and Smush Parker, like Tim Duncan never had like a real bad team like Kobe had. So he never really had to have that dead like Kobe had and overcome. Like Tim Duncan always had a steady base and a steady team. Also, of course, I feel like Kobe is. I mean, like I said, it's really hard to compare because it's a guard versus forward, but I do feel like Kobe is the better offensive player, defensive. Like, they equal when it comes to, I'll take Tim Duncan in the paint and I'll take Kobe on the perimeter. So I can't really like I said, it's really splitting hairs, but I just give Kobe the slight edge because I prefer a guard over a forward. And then Kobe used to always outplay Tim Duncan most majority of the time when they played. And then also Kobe didn't um have the luxury like Tim Duncan to just have, a steady organization and players and, for a majority of his career. Like Kobe had to really overcome and show really carry a team when he in '05, '06 and stuff when he didn't have really good players. And then we know that Kobe is a way better scorer than Tim Duncan is. So yeah, that's why I got Kobe slight over Tim Duncan. Kobe over LeBron. Like I said, I already made a video about that. They resumes is close. I'll give LeBron a slight edge when it comes to resume and of course longevity, but when it comes to skill and like I said, the eye test, like I said, why most players have Kobe over LeBron. And like I said, because I watched them and Kobe was just a better player to me. And it just is what it is. Like I didn't watch LeBron whole career just like Kobe and even more so than LeBron than Kobe because LeBron's still playing and Kobe was playing when I was real young. And LeBron just not a better player than Kobe to me from everything I've seen, like from LeBron, and then like I said, I hold against LeBron from team hopping. Every time his team was bad, LeBron had more help than Kobe did because LeBron fans used to say that Kobe had more help because Kobe had Shaq. LeBron never had Shaq. But at this point, LeBron had more played with more superstars and all-stars than Kobe did. Kobe had Shaq and Paul Gasol, but like I said in my other video, Paul Gasol was basically Kevin Love, like, maybe a little bit better than Kevin Love was before, like a 20 and 10 guy, a guy who, a guy like, Kevin Love was dropping 25 and 13 easy, known as offensive, not really defensive, just like Paul Gasol was. Then when you talk about Shaq, LeBron had D Wade, Anthony Davis, two top 75 players. LeBron played with two top 75 players. Kobe only played with one. And then like I said, Kobe, I feel like Kobe, if Kobe would have switched teams 3 times and played with better players, he would probably have even more rings. So, that's why I have Kobe over LeBron. Kobe is a better defender than LeBron. He got double the All NBA first team defense. All the stuff that LeBron really got over Kobe is longevity awards. So, but like I said, I'll give LeBron a slight edge in the resume, but LeBron resume is not way better than Kobe resume. He just slightly ahead of him. And then, but I feel like Kobe was the way better player. So that's why I got Kobe. That's why I have Kobe over LeBron slightly. So yeah, you can go watch the Tim Duncan versus Kobe or Kobe versus LeBron video if you want me to give more detail of why I have Kobe above above them. So getting into it, number 2 on the list. The last two we should already know who they is. But I guess let me get into it. It's not no real controversy. It might be, but I guess it just is what it is. So number 2 should already know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Easily, to me, okay, so why Kareem is the second best player of all time? I mean, he has 6 rings and 6 MVPs. No other player, not even Jordan has 6 MVPs with the 6 rings. He was the all-time leading scorer for the longest. I know LeBron just passed him. Believe he top 5 in rebounds. He had the longevity, like, he really was, had the longevity, like out of all the players before, besides LeBron. Like before LeBron, Kareem was known for longevity and having the best longevity of any player, playing 20 years and was still playing at a high level when he was in his 30s, mid late 30s. So yeah, Kareem, I mean, there's really no argument. Feel like everybody know that Kareem should be top 10, if definitely, top five, definitely. Like I said, especially with us leaving out Wilt and Bill Russell. Kareem is the greatest big man of all time. His resume speaks for itself. And then I always felt like, because Kareem been number two on my list since I was younger, always just looking at his resume and what he did. And then if you factor in, because I know we always look at the greatest NBA players of all time or the we say the greatest basketball player of all time, but what we really mean is NBA. But if we talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, it probably is Kareem. When you factor in like, high school, college, just all around, like your whole body of work, it's Kareem. Like Kareem record at I think it was UCLA. It's ridiculous. They was going undefeated, winning championships. Kareem was a monster in high school. Like Kareem really was dominant and like ahead of his time. He was not quite as far back as like Wilt and what Wilt was doing, dominating his era because Kareem was able to play into the 80s and stuff and, dominate going into the modern era, as I like to call it also. So, got one of the most best unstoppable shots of all time, consistent. Like, Kareem is that dude, and the only person I felt like if you take in total body of work, like you not just NBA, is the greatest player of all time. Like if we say who the best, including high school, college, and the NBA, is Kareem. It's not really even close. So, Kareem easily still should be here. The reason why I have him over Kobe, Tim Duncan, and LeBron. So first I'm gonna go with Kobe because they was the closest. I give Kareem, even though I do feel like Kobe is the greatest Laker, but Kareem played and won a championship with the Bucks, so that's still why. But I give it over Kareem because he got five more MVPs than Kobe do. He has one more ring. He higher on the all-time scoring list. Like I said, it still come down to guard versus big man or guard versus forward or center. So it's really like which one do you want, a guard or a forward? So it's still splitting hairs when it comes to that. Because of course, Kareem gonna be better when it comes to like rebounding and blocking shots, but Kobe gonna be better when it comes to assisting things like that. And I do feel like, of course, Kobe was the better defender because Kareem was a good defender against blocks, but he wasn't known as like a Tim Duncan or Hakeem when it comes to defense. So it was real close, but I still get a slight edge to Kareem over Kobe, because he got more rings, more MVPs, longevity. Um, they neck and neck in all-star game appearances and all of that type of stuff. But and then when it gets down to who was more skilled and better, I do feel like Kobe was, but like I said, it's comparing like a guard to a forward, kind of with like Tim Duncan, to where they good at different things, depending on which one that you want. Because Kareem was as skilled as a big man that you can really get. And then when we look at health, it both go both ways. Like Kobe had Shaq, Kareem had Magic. Um, what else? Think Kareem won his ring with the Bucks with Oscar Robertson. I believe that was who he had. So they both had help. It's really neck and neck, but I do give Kareem the slight edge over Kobe because of his body of work. And then, like I said, if we including the best player overall, Kareem could be number one. Like, if we just look at the entire body of work. So Kareem versus Tim Duncan, I give Kareem the slight edge over Tim Duncan. Simply because it's close, because I feel like Tim Duncan, because they both forward or big men, and I feel like Tim Duncan was better on defense. I give Kareem the slight edge on offense, and I feel like Kareem was better longer than Tim Duncan was, even though they both got longevity, and they both right there neck and neck with each other. Then Kareem played with, like I said, Magic, who's better than anybody who Tim Duncan played with. But like I said, Tim Duncan had that that nucleus there, all the way throughout his career. So, I mean, in this, like I said, it's really close when we get into the 2, 3, and 4 position to where it can really go either way. But I do, like I said, I give Kareem this slight edge because he does have the most. He got 6 rings like George, but then when you look at the 6 MVPs, he was the all-time leading scorer right before LeBron broke it. Like Kareem was really that dude, even with Magic, because Magic get a lot of credit for their championships in the 80s. But if you remember, Kareem was the MVP the year that Magic won Finals MVP. People give Magic all that credit for his rookie season winning Finals MVP, but Kareem really carried them there through the season, and he just got hurt. So, it's really neck and neck, but I give Kareem the slight edge over Kobe and Tim Duncan because they resumes really speak for that. Kareem resume really speak for itself, and Kareem is, like I said, the best basketball player if you consider, you know, high school, college, everything. Like, Kareem was really that dude, and Kareem, dominated for decades. So I got Kareem number 2, and I always have. Like Kareem is really underrated, but most people had in this position or top 3 for the longest, for real. So, and when it comes to Kareem versus LeBron, it's kind of really hard to compare, even though, I mean, we kind of can, but like I said, like Kareem has 6 rings to LeBron 4. He has more MVPs than LeBron has also. He was the model of longevity up until LeBron slightly passing him now. I just feel like Kareem was, more so a better player than LeBron was, just off their resume. Then when we get into skills, like I said, in the eye test like that, me personally, because obviously I'm young, so I didn't get to see Kareem play or throughout his career. I think Kareem retired like maybe the year I was born or a couple years before I was born. So I didn't really get to focus and watch Kareem like I have LeBron, then especially with him playing in the 70s. But of course, I've seen a lot of Kareem games, his finals games, and like Kareem is not like Will and Bill to where we didn't get to really watch them play for real. So you could try to, I guess, argue but LeBron being over Kareem, but I just feel like Kareem better. Like, he what he did for basketball and in the era that he did it and stuff like that. Like, he didn't have as many mishaps as LeBron ended up having. Oh, my bad. I had to kind of refresh my memory about Kareem for a little minute. So the Kareem was also a 5-time first all-team defense and 6-time second team. So Kareem even has more defensive all NBA first all NBA defense than LeBron does. And Kareem also was a 3-time blocks leader, a 2 or 3-time scoring leader. So Kareem even has more scoring titles than LeBron do, and he has more all NBA defense than LeBron does. So I thought that LeBron actually would have had more all NBA defense than Kareem, but Kareem actually had got more than LeBron. So looking at Kareem resume is something different. A 19-time All-Star. So he's 6-time champion, 6-time MVP, 3-time block leader, 3-time scoring leader, 5-time all first team defense, like 15, 16 all NBA first teams. So averaged 24 and 3 for his career. So he averaged a double-double for his career, over 10 rebounds and 24 points. So Kareem is that dude and don't get enough credit. Then, like I said, he won three championships in college, was Mr. Basketball in high school, like two or three times. Like Kareem, like I said, as an individual basketball player, he probably the GOAT if you like I said, if you count high school and college and the totality of your basketball career. So I don't have no problem, or like I said, I feel like Kareem is number two, and it's not really that hard to say. And like I said, if you include high school and college, he probably number one. So getting into number one on this list, we already know who it is. Ain't no point of beating around the bush and going around it. It's Michael Jordan. I mean, most people still have Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. I think the last time they did a poll, it was like 64, 70%. Um, like it's Michael Jordan. He's been considered the GOAT for, since I was a kid. It is no, I mean, everybody has Jordan top 10, top five. Even if you're a Jordan hater, I never in my life heard somebody not have Jordan in a top five, top 10. So it ain't even no point of getting into that. So when we get into Jordan, comparing to Kareem and Kobe and everybody else real quick. So I'm gonna do Kobe and Jordan first, because that's been a big debate. Kobe, being my era, Jordan and probably my favorite player. He just, Kobe came close, and I remember in them later years rooting for Kobe to surpass Michael and really thinking that he had a chance, but he just came up short. But that's how I feel. Kobe just came up short when it comes to um, surpassing Jordan. He came up one ring short, couple records short. He was just, he was just that short of catching Jordan, but he never did get to reach it. The only thing I give Kobe a slight edge, because I do feel like Kobe was able to do everything that Jordan does, but add the 3-point shot. So I feel like if Jordan had a 3-point shot, he would have been Kobe. And in the new era, how Kobe was able to um bring the 3-point shot into his game. I feel like give him a slight edge over Jordan. But of course, Jordan was um, more efficient in with his shot taking. And that's what a lot of people would look at it. But I do feel like Kobe was more double teamed than any other player in history that I've seen, even double team more than Jordan. And that's what a lot of people forget. But regardless, I still give it to Jordan, because like Jordan, Scottie Pippen is not as good as Shaq, and Scottie Pippen is Jordan's second best player, and Shaq is better than Scottie Pippen. So Kobe had even more help than Jordan did for real. We already know Jordan got, what is it? I think Jordan got 5 MVPs, to Kobe one. Jordan got a higher points per game average. Even though Kobe has more All NBA first team defense than Jordan has, Jordan still got a Defensive Player of the Year award, something that Kobe or LeBron or Kareem don't have. That Defensive Player of the Year award really set you apart, because for a guard, because we know most of the time Defensive Player of the Year goes to a big man. So for a guard to get it, it's self-explanatory. Led the league in steals before. Like Jordan is just undisputed to GOAT. And the reason why I got Jordan as the undisputed GOAT, and like I said, even over Kobe, is that Jordan retired early, took 2 years off. And I always look at it like, dang, if Jordan didn't take them 2 years off, his records, like, he'll be higher up on every list. Taking 2 years off in your prime, no other player could do that. I feel like if Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, or Kareem took 2 years off in the middle of their prime, they wouldn't even be like able to be in the conversation like Jordan was. The simple fact that Jordan was able to really take 2 years off in his prime, or a year and a half, I guess, if you want to call it, just goes to show that, like Jordan is really just ahead of everybody. for real. Because most people feel like he would have won one more championship, if not two. And some people even feel like he retired premature in '98 because of all that was going on with the GM Jerry Krause, I think, and him, forcing Phil out, and Jordan kind of retired early. Jordan really could have kept playing, even though Jordan was starting to wind down, but Jordan still has some good years left. Instead of just taking them years off and they going to the Wizards, if Jordan would have kept playing, or if Jordan would have went to another team, since the Bulls team was dismantling, ain't no telling what Jordan would have did. And Jordan get the luxury of that mystery of him retiring and not knowing what could have been. But even with him retiring, his resume still speaks for itself. 6 rings, 6 MVPs, multiple all NBA first team defense. Like, Jordan resume is just, it speaks for itself. And the aura speaks for itself. He one of the most skilled players of all time. People say probably besides Kobe, he the most, or right along with Kobe, he the most fun player to watch. The athleticism, the skill, um, everything, the will to win, the game winners, the legacy, the shoes, like, everything, like, Jordan is, Jordan is Jordan. Like I said, he's still the GOAT, and I don't see nobody passing him, and I don't think most people will disagree with that. Like I said, he slayed over Kobe, he over LeBron, because he still got 2 more rings than LeBron, 2 more Finals MVPs. He got 1 more Defensive Player of the Year award. He got more scoring titles than LeBron. Oh yeah, I forgot he a 10-time scoring champ, which is just, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, to win the scoring title 10 times, like, like that's something that, like, it's kind of unheard of. Like, Jordan just above everybody else. Like, it's really no argument for real. Then of course Jordan had less help than LeBron. Like I said, LeBron hopped teams 3 times, played with 2 top 75 players. Jordan only played with one. He didn't play with all of the all-stars that LeBron played with. Like, he didn't have that, and that's why I give him the slight edge over Kareem also, because Kareem had Magic. Magic is better than Pippen is, just like Shaq is better than Pippen is, just like you could say Dwayne Wade and Anthony Davis being better than Pippen is, depending on how you look at it. I think on defense, we'll probably put Pippen ahead, even though Anthony Davis is that dude on defense, and obviously he a better scorer than Pippen is. Then Jordan had Dennis Rodman, who's the greatest rebounder of all time, but on offense, Dennis Rodman got games where you had like 5 points and 15 rebounds. So Jordan really, nobody else had to carry the offensive load like Jordan had to. If you look at it, like, Jordan really carried the offensive load for the Bulls, on top of being one of the best defenders and making the Bulls one of the best defender teams that there is. So I ain't gonna spend that too much time on it. It's really no argument, but I think for Jordan not being number one, like LeBron, and then this is why I said with LeBron and Jordan is that Jordan played less years than LeBron did, like 5 less seasons or at this point than LeBron has, and he still got more rings and more MVPs, more scoring titles, more Defensive Player of the Year. So LeBron had played 5, 6 more seasons, and he still haven't reached what Jordan was able to. He still ain't reached the rings, the MVPs, and everything like that. So it's not really close, for real, for real. So, yeah, that's my list, 5 through 1. You could tell me what you think. I'm pretty confident in my list. Like I said, it's really inchangeable. Like I said, if you have Duncan over Kobe, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you have LeBron over Tim Duncan, I feel like Tim Duncan is better, but I ain't gonna too much argue with you about that. Like, it ain't like blasphemous to have any of these players, like, position over each other besides Jordan. Like, I don't think anybody comes close to Jordan unless, like I said, you count an overall basketball player, then I think that Kareem could be over Jordan. But if you just say NBA career, then it's Jordan hands down. And then, like I said, I don't feel like LeBron is better than, because some people got LeBron number 2. Like, I do feel like it's kind of interchangeable, but I couldn't just jump LeBron from 5 to 2. I just don't feel like he better than Duncan, Kobe, and Kareem. Like I said, it's kind of close with maybe I could put LeBron at third as highest. Like if I just was a LeBron fan and I just really like wanted to give LeBron the benefit of the doubt, the highest I could probably put LeBron as third, but I got him fifth. So that's my list of the top 10 players of all time. This was 5 through 1. So um, I think it's kind of cemented. Like I said, LeBron, the only one that's still playing, and the way LeBron career going, I don't see him jumping anybody. Because, like I said, the Lakers, it's not looking like the Lakers gonna win a championship this year. Like I said, don't nobody count that in-game tournament, whatever that was. But maybe if LeBron could go to another team and just muster it up at 40 and win another ring or do something crazy, then yeah, LeBron could jump this list. But I don't think that he was, like, if I had to bet on it. But maybe LeBron could jump ahead if if things just magically changed for him. But right now, I think that this list is solidified. And oh yeah, Steph Curry still playing also. I don't think Steph gonna be able to get into the top 10. I think I have Steph rated 10th or 9th for all time on my top 10 list. So Steph could ease maybe to like 7, maybe 7-6 at the highest. If he somehow, wins another ring or the longevity keeps on going. Because I do think like Steph gonna have some longevity because he's a shooter, so he's not really relying on his athleticism. So he could really play to like 40 like LeBron did. And if he plays to 40, get on a new team and does stuff, he does have the possibility of getting higher on this list. So that's it. Y'all tell me, what y'all think. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Why? And why you think that way? I broke down why I have everybody positioned there in detail. So that's it. But nah, y'all can tell me what I think. I'm still thinking about doing the top 10 through 20 list, like the top 10 through 20 players of all time. I'm debating because once you get outside the top 10, it's really start getting hard and you really splitting hairs and it really kind of get difficult to really do. But I might end up trying to do it. I'm gonna think about it.